Calum McFarlane. Calum, we really appreciate you coming out to talk to us. You've said before the game that recent performances have been nowhere near the standard, but what was your take on that performance today?
Yeah, I thought the Forest game wasn't the standard that we know this group are capable of. A few games before that as well. I thought we saw some bright signs at Wembley against Leeds, so it was really disappointing the following game that we didn't back that up and repeat that. But I thought you saw the best sides of this team today, so I'm really pleased with the performance.
Just want to ask you about Cucurella's position today. At times he was the highest forward. Must have been something you worked on and something you enjoyed today. He played really well.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of an injury crisis at the moment with Esteval, Ali Garnacho, Pedro Neto, Jesse Derry now, all carrying injuries. So we had to be a little bit creative. We know it's not Cuckoo's best position, but even from left back, he's very good in terms of making runs off the ball and in behind fullbacks. And I thought we did that really well today. So it's definitely something we were looking to exploit and needs must at times.
Levi Colwill today, you must be buzzing to have him back. I thought he was brilliant for being out for a year and to come into a game like this up against the firepower that Liverpool got. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, I thought Levi was probably the best player on the pitch for me. He allows us to defend man for man on the last line, so we can be really aggressive. He can play. The left foot's a lovely balance in terms of when you're building up. I thought he did everything at a really high level today. And like you said, first game in nearly a year, it just speaks about his character and who he is.
Yeah, we could throw it forward. Obviously, next week's massive game for the club, massive game for you. When do you start thinking about Manchester City in the FA Cup final this week? Or is that 5 minutes ago when he was walking over it?
No, I think in this schedule and the level of opposition you're playing, you try and focus on the game in the moment, but you always need to have one eye on what's coming up. So it'll be the same when we're prepping for Manchester City. We've got Spurs coming up really quickly, so you try and get ahead of things, but you also have to live in the moment and focus on the moment. So we wanted to give everything we could to this game, and we've done that now. So we'll have a day off tomorrow and start getting our head around how we're going to prepare for another top level opposition.
You said you wanted to give everything for this game. How vital was it to get a bit of positivity, a bit of momentum heading into that and get that losing streak to an end?
Yeah, 100%. I felt like we could have won the game. That would have been even better. I feel like there were moments that didn't quite go our way that in my opinion, we deserved to win that game. That would have given us even more. But you're right. We've recovered a little bit from the Forest game. We've shown who we are as a group, who they are as people, and we need to build on that for Saturday, which will be another massive challenge.
There've been lots of questions about this group of players, especially recently, especially after the Forest game, about the fight, the desire. How have you found working with the group?
Yeah, I see them every day, so it's easier for me to say. It's not a cliche. I see them work every day. I see what they put in. I see the effort and commitment they put in, and it's just disappointing that it didn't come out in the game in every moment of the game against Forest. But you saw that today. That for me, we can't question that. We just need to do that on a more consistent basis.
How big an honour will it be for you next Saturday at Wembley, leading this team out?
Yeah, it's a really unique situation. It's not one that I expected to be in. There's been a lot of good work done before to get to this point, and I just have to support the club and support the players and the team in this moment. But the players have earned the right to be there, so it's more about them than me, I think, personally.
What do you think of the chances now after that point today against this Manchester City side?
It's going to be a tough game. They're a top side, but this team has shown that they can compete when they're at their best. They can compete with anyone across Europe. So if we get the best version of that, if we get the commitment, fight and spirit that we got today, we can beat anyone. But it's going to be a massive challenge. I've got a lot of respect for Manchester City and how they play and what they do.
Arna, the game was breathless at times. What did you make of your team's performance and the final result?
What does breathless means?
End to end, lots of chances, ebbed and flowed.
Yeah, what did I make of the game? I think we started off really well, scored a goal, got a big chance from a set piece where we were close to scoring the 2-0. Then in a quite a large phase of the game, we struggled to control their sixes, so they were constantly able to find them and then set up an attack. Unfortunately, like last week, we conceded a set piece, and that makes it really hard in a top game to win a game of football if you have a negative balance in set pieces, especially if you look at it. It was such a sloppy goal, or which word you want to use, but it wasn't a great cross and a header. It was just no one touched it and it went in the second post. Second half, apart from the apart from the third minute, where they scored, which was fractionally offside, I saw a team that had a completely different intent and a completely different intensity in terms of pressing. We were a few times close, as so many times this season, hit the post, hit the bar, but not enough to win, and that's why it ended in 1-1.
You talk about that part of the first half where Liverpool seemed to lose control. Why did that happen?
As I said, we weren't able to control their players. They played with a lot of midfielders today, so brought a lot of players towards the ball. And yeah, if you then go man to man, which we didn't do, then you have a chance to control them. But we kept +1 in the back for reasons I think is smart. And that's why they constantly had the +1. And if these players have a +1 like Chelsea, then they're able to play through them. The second half, we changed our setup in terms of pressing a little bit, or not a little bit, a bit, and that worked better than in the first half.
Rio Ngamoa was really positive in the game, but then there were boos from some of the Anfield crowd when he came off. Why did you feel that was the right time to replace him?
I don't think it was some of them. I think there were a lot that didn't agree with that change, which I completely understand if you just look at how he played. But it does make sense if you know that 3 minutes before he goes to the floor, to the ground, with having problems with his muscles. And then when I asked him, he said, no, not sure if I can continue. Yeah, and then the idea was maybe not to take him off, but when he gave the signal that he wasn't completely ready to continue, then it makes complete sense. But I knew this would have been the reaction because he's such a popular figure. He played a good 65, 70 minutes, 65, something like that. But yeah, it says it's so often in football, people don't know everything, and that's how it works. But it is what it is. I'm the manager, I need to make decisions, and sometimes people are happy with them, sometimes they don't, and today clearly they weren't. Maybe knowing now why makes it more sense for everyone.
You cleared it up now, so that does make sense. What about on the final whistle? Because that's when there seemed to be even more boos. What was your reaction to that?
No, that probably has to do with us not winning. So a draw. From the last 5 games, we won 3 last week, and today a draw. Yeah, that's not what we want. We want more. We want to win them all 5. But as I said, last week we had a negative balance in our set piece. Today again, conceding a set piece, and we were very, very close with Virgil to score one ourselves. So yeah, it completely makes sense that people are disappointed if we don't win, because that's what we want. We want to win, and it should be like this. If Liverpool doesn't win, everybody can. No one